Welcome back to the channel, and as you might see, I've got an apron on, getting the grill fired up, but I thought in the meantime I'd do a quick review. This review is of cable wrapping tape. Now this isn't something you need very often, but I recently had to do surgery, corrective surgery, actually to repair mouse chewed wiring on my 2017 Dodge Journey. On apparently our Chrysler products, Jeep and Dodge, the like underhood cabling is wrapped in a cloth tape. Now with that cloth tape, anyway, after I made the repairs, I wanted to, I thought about just wrapping it up in electrical tape. But then I thought, well, I'd like to just wrap it up so it looks more OEM, with the cloth tape. So the first tape I bought was some brand, I wasn't familiar with the brand, but this is the roll of tape. And now the name brand is not printed in the inside of the spool, but it, it's cloth sticky tape. And actually, I assumed it was going to do a fine job. But what I found out was that it doesn't stick as well to wiring or anything else other than itself. It's not very super adhesive like you would think. It sticks really well to itself. So in an instant like this, I thought, well, if I put one layer of wrapping on the area where I did the repairs and then a second wrapping, the tape would stick. If it didn't stick to the wiring under the first coat, the second layer would stick to the existing tape. Well, I really wasn't happy with how well it stuck. And then this is manufactured in China. And it had a number of caveats in the package about not being very waterproof and that it could come loose. I think it was not very moisture resistant. And we're talking under the hood. Now, most of the time you don't get a lot of moisture under the hood, but that and the weak holding power of this tape, I just was not sold that this was what I needed. Okay, so I ended up buying another, went back on Amazon, and of course, this was the deal. This was, I don't know, this was like $6 for 80 some feet of this cloth tape. And I thought, well, hell, that's a deal. Well, it only is a deal if it does what you want it to do. Now this is a cloth tape sold by X-Fasten, and it's a brand you can find on Amazon. And this spool obviously has less tape on it, but it's but it did cost more. It was closer to $9 for this spool. And but what I found was this stuff is really tough it sticks really, really well. And so I used that to cover the repair area, and man, it stuck great. And there's no caveats about moisture problems or anything. It really did a good job. Now, of course, you don't need cloth tape to wrap cables very often. This isn't something you're probably going to keep in your toolbox as just for normal use until you're working on a car that's got it and you want to replicate or at least make it look more OEM, the repair. But this roll of tape, and I'll have the links down in the description of both rolls, but this is the one that really shined. It did a really good job, and I didn't have to layer it 2 or 3 times, and it stuck real well to the clean existing cabling, that was also wrapped in cloth tape. It stuck real well to the OEM, and then stuck real well to the wiring, and I just wrapped it up, and it looks great. Did a great job. And again, I don't know, this is 100% moisture proof, but I don't know what tape really is, and it looks better than if I just used electrical tape, because you could get this off again, I guess, if you wanted to. Sometimes electrical tape over heat and thaw cycles, the heat, it'll just kind of become one big clump of plastic tape. So anyway, this is the cat's meow. This is the good stuff. So just be careful. If you need to buy some, get a good quality one. Don't be afraid. Don't do what I did the first time, and I got the cheapest stuff the cheapest per foot tape I could find. All right, that's it. Thanks for stopping by the Shade Tree Garage, and we'll see you next time with another review or whatever happens that I need to work on. Take care. See you next time.